welcome to the His and Her Show with Jody.
And Alex Misiak.
And today we're going to talk about something that has been like a really big struggle between like love, hate in my life. And I'm hoping that within this struggle and sharing this story, it can maybe open some aha moments for you today. So like loving the skin you're in, but it doesn't mean you have to like live there. That's the part that really got me, right?
That's where the love, hate comes
so it's like,
in.
I love myself. It's like, but then if I love me, wanting to change it means that I don't love myself. You know what I mean? Like, it's a back and forth struggle.
Yeah.
So it's really about being okay with where you are, owning it. And here's the thing about self-love, in my opinion. Like, one of the biggest acts of self-love you can do for yourself is tell yourself the truth.
Okay.
It can be tricky, but it's about opening up and telling yourself the truth. Be like, okay, it's like owning where you're at. Like, okay, maybe I'd like to, be, like pounds lighter kind of thing. And then...
Or this size, or have clearer skin, or better teeth.
Yeah, exactly. And being like, okay, but then finding love in that moment of where you are right now. So for the longest time, I beat myself up. I was on diet after diet and this and that. And then... like, I was like, oh, that's not self-love. Like, I'm abusing my body. And I'm like, oh, well, I love where I am. And then I was like, okay, well, I love where I am. And then I'd eat donuts. And, there's like, I hid behind self-love and ate what I wanted to. And then, so for me, the connection was feeding my body. It's, again, about perspective. So it's like, well, donuts don't do anything good for my body. They do something great for my brain. And,
you think they do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sorry, I think they do.
Yeah.
But it's just being, okay, well, it's about, it's really loving, even just accepting or opening up to the possibility of loving yourself and then doing loving things for yourself.
I think that's a really good distinction to make. I'm sorry, I use this word again. But like you said, I hid behind the idea of self-love. To basically let me do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And...
I love myself. I'm going to eat this donut.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's okay. It's like, no. I mean, that's not helping you.
It's not beating myself up, though. Like,
no.
Either be like, oh, God, I just ate that donut. Why did I do that? I hate myself. Or, like, it can fall the other way. But it's like, okay, well, I love myself enough to, drink lots of water, to eat lots of vegetables, to eat clean, healthy food. And then on the flip, it flips over to like, I feel more energetic. I feel better about myself. Like, it just, anyway, sorry, did I cut you off?
No, that's exactly what I was going to get at. So for sure. Okay. Yeah.
So I know it can be really tricky to love where you're at right now, especially if you're staring at yourself in the mirror and you don't like what you see. And I know last episode we talked about like embracing where you are right now and loving everywhere you are. And the physical stuff can be really tricky.
As tricky as the mental stuff, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you'll, maybe you're even avoiding the mirror. And there's a lot of time where it can be any area of your body. It could be, like, I even had a hard time being short. That was a big one for me a lot of time. I really didn't like being short. I was really hoping to be, like, 5'9". Like, I was like, woohoo, I'm going to be tall. Because I was really tall as a kid. And then I just stopped growing. So I really want to be tall. And that's one thing you can't change. Like, so it's like, love the skin you're in, and then like, but you don't have to stay there. This is one you can't really change.
So that's just love and acceptance.
Yes. Yeah. And then for me, that one, I'll just show a really quick example here is, I was working at a warehouse and they had trolleys and people kept hitting their heads on the trolleys. And I was just short enough to miss them. I'm like, I love being short. So it's just finding those fun moments. It's like when you and I stand together, like the cuddle and the hug is like perfect height. Do you know what I mean? So
yes,
it's looking for those awesome things. If I was super tall, it might look different. And then if it's the other way, if you're tall, then like look for aspects to be tall. Like, I don't know. I was gonna,
no, that's true. So, I have a couple tall friends, and they do a waffle behind. it's great to be tall and it sucks being tall.
Yeah.
So,
like I can
focus on the good things.
Like in an airplane, I can lay and like curl up on a chair.
Yes, like a child, but you're not that small. But somehow you're able to still fit comfortably into that stuff. And this is where one of my tall friends would be like, when I fly, I have to pick an aisle seat or like one of the front rows so that I have room for my legs, kind of deal, right? But it's all about loving where you're at and what you've got.
Like another example was I had really bad acne for like from teenage to my 20s. And then I finally found a skincare line that worked really well. And I started taking care of myself, like taking care of my skin a little bit better. So that's where self-care comes in. And then even just knowledge behind it. However, I still felt that I had a lot of breakouts. And then it was only until I really focused on the love aspect. Like, what do I want to do for my body? Not about am I going to change the weight? Am I going, like, not about the look so much, but about the feel.
Yeah.
And just, what am I doing to my body? It was when we started eating clean that my face became clean. Yep. So it's just the biggest focus. If you don't like something about the skin you're in, it really comes down to just start loving yourself, like one step at a time. Do mirror work that we talked about last episode. There's just so many things. You can write yourself a letter. I love that I have me nights. Tuesday nights.
Right.
I have a little date with myself. And actually this past week, I was like, oh my goodness, it's Tuesday. It's me night. And I was so excited that I wasn't going to worry about, doing a little bit of loose ends for work or to do any cleaning or anything around the house. And it wasn't that I didn't want to hang out with you. And actually, in fact, I think we did meet up at the end. Yeah. But it was just for me. Like, I got to choose the movie. I got to do, just whatever I wanted. Like, just full hearty, just me pamper time.
Yeah. And it wasn't even it wasn't expensive. It wasn't.
No, I stayed home.
It wasn't hard to do, really. Some people might find scheduling it hard to do, but once you've scheduled it, then it's pretty easy to do.
It can be so simple. It's just even having a bubble bath, if that's what. But
it has to light you up.
We've talked about.
It has to light you up.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, where self-care and things really need to be aligned with what makes you happy. So when I got excited that I got to, just let loose and just be, and my me nights also come with me practicing the guitar because I really want to incorporate that into my life as well. So that's part of it. And then I, unwind in a different way. Another one, I'm just going to throw out one more idea because I really love this. And this is what I'm incorporating into my own routine, because I did right before Christmas I did the self-love, the 12 days of self-love, and it's actually, you'll be able to find this on my website. I think it's already up there, and it's 12 days of some serious self-love. And one of the activities that we do in these 12 days is you can either use moisturizer or you can do a sugar scrub in the shower or even just body wash. And you just start from your head to toe, or maybe not your hair, but down, and you just wash yourself. And I did this again last night too, where it's just I love you. And you just you rub the lotion or you clean yourself and you just love every inch of yourself.
Right. You're mindfully
sending love to your body
while you're cleaning it. Yeah, that's a really good exercise.
Yeah, and I usually suggest from head to toe or toe to head, one way or the other, so you bring the energy in one direction.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
yeah, so that's a really great one for the skin you're in, and it's any areas that you really aren't a fan of, start sending extra love there.
And you'll find that once you're doing that, I guess, then the idea is, you can then take steps to change those aspects by sending yourself love, loving the skin you're in. That's step one. And then you're able to then take action from a place of love for those places that you want to change, because trying to change from a negative place is, one, harder to do, two, more likely to fail, right? I would say
you're not even gonna. It's just not good energy you're sending out.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's gonna be harder to do, and it's gonna be more of an uphill battle.
Where there is love, you cannot have fear. Fear and love do not coexist. And same with other negative emotions. Where there is love, judgment can't be there. When you look at somebody with loving eyes without thinking about judgment or any other things, you don't see that. Like where there is love, like love cancels all those negative emotions. So when you're focused on love, but I do also want to add, when you're setting that attention and sending your body love, you might not even need to take any action.
Yeah, that's true too.
Like there might be, or like something will come up into your life and you just have to listen. Like, so what I'm trying to say here is you could do the whole loving exercise from head to toe, and that could be it. Just like, I love you, I love me, or, and then be okay. And then it's just being open and aware of what shows up in your life. So I'm not saying, like, it's not like, oh, do this and be like, oh, what should I do now? What should I change? It's not about that.
Okay.
It's just start loving yourself, and other things will come into your life that will really help you go towards what you want. And it's not saying that, like, oh, I want a boat, I want a boat, I want a boat, and then boom, a boat's here.
Right.
It's, you want something in your life, and then it's like, or you want to lose, X amount of pounds, you can't just wish it. We've talked about this, we're not genies. However, like things will come into your life that you need to take action on and be open to, like possibilities. And that's where the change, like, but anyways, it's just having love in your heart, love for yourself. And then that will spread into your life, into your world, and amazing things can happen.
Like how we met.
Yes, exactly.
In case you guys have forgotten from the last podcast. But yeah, I think that's a good like guideline. Loving the skin you're in, and then realizing that it's not an excuse. That's the thing. It's not, like you said, it's not an excuse to go off and do what ultimately results in not actions out of love to yourself.
Yes, exactly. I also want to say that, like, because I'm coming from like the whole not liking weight, and that's all personal for me. But if it's something like, it could be your nose, or like my hair's thin, things like that, like things that some people might not be able to change as much. This activity of loving yourself, then there'll be no action.
Right, of course.
Other than possibly, like, I found out a really cool hairstyle that really helps boost my volume, or find products and things. And if you really don't like your nose, it's like having somebody teach you how to do your makeup. So, you can accent your cheekbones more, or your eyes, like focus the accents. But
being
we're not
open
saying
to
you
those,
have to change that either, though. It's just love in your heart. And then when you have love in your heart, you see things differently.
Yeah, about yourself, about others, and about opportunities. Like the opportunity, and that comes from weight. You're saying about your weight. Like for myself, I don't know about other guys, but if it's not weight, and guys do worry about weight. If a guy says they're not worried about their weight, they're probably not telling you the truth, because we all think about it. And it's hard not to. I mean, there are male models who are outlandishly proportioned as much as female models, and they're still there. Is it more about weight though, or about physical look? Because I know you've mentioned like, oh look, because I'll be like, oh wow, look how ripped he is. It's both, absolutely. And no, and I hopefully I've developed enough of my own self-love practices that I don't see that as a bad thing, or I'm like self-conscious about it. I am still a little bit self-conscious about the physical form, right, of the male body, like having the triangle shape, so a big strong chest, narrow waistline, that kind of stuff. And anyways, that's so that's definitely something that this podcast is speaking to both men and women. It's not just all about you ladies. And also, one of the most important things to think about is we're not just our bodies. No. That's just where our spirit's being held. But however, we only get one body. So it's about loving your body and, giving it loving nutrients and loving, just everything, energy and things like that, where, because it's, you only get one. So you can't just trade it in for another. So it's
it's understanding that it's the skin we're in, and it's just coming from this place of love. It really is. It's tapping into that well of love.
Now, before we wrap up, would you say that that the act of loving the skin you're in, or the body you're in, it snowballs, it builds momentum in you, so that when the opportunity, if you need to change, the opportunities present themselves easier, or the universe guides you down the right path? Or...
Yes, I feel like it is, because you know how I was saying I was hiding behind, self-love and eating donuts. That was when our son wasn't sleeping. Mm-hmm. And then he finally slept through the night, and I went to California for a mastermind, and that's where I met Summer, who has the book that inspired me to, like, everything lined up. In my mind, I was like, okay, I'm ready to feel better. Like, for me, it's more about feeling better. I want to have the energy to run around with our kids. I want to, I want to feel comfortable in an airplane seat again, like where I can curl up in a ball a little bit easier. And because I felt like, it's not even about losing the pounds as much as it is about feeling flexible and feeling lighter. And yes, of course, I want to look good in a bathing suit. However, it's not all about that for me, but it can be for people. But the moment I wanted to change, like from a healthy perspective, that's when resources came in. I felt like I gave up, because, me and my, I had so many struggles with my weight, and, even saw a doctor because I just kept gaining weight, even though I was, the whole calories out, calories in kind of thing. I was having a lot less calories in than I was, I was working out a lot and eating a lot less. Yeah. And it just didn't line up. And I was pretty much giving up. And even like with Anastasia, when she was born, I worked out a lot. And yes, I lost a little bit of weight. And anyways, actually, the biggest one was after Jaden and not sleeping. Yeah. We're kind of going off into a weight loss tantrum. But
the important thing is that you love the skin you're in.
Yes. And I came at it as a healthy, loving way. And that's when the resources that helped me, instead of like seeking out like, oh, I need to lose weight, and just coming from this neediness, this fear,
a place of negativity.
Yeah. Like where I'm like, I gotta do this. And when I just let it go, I was like, okay, I want to get healthier. I want to feel good. That's when the right resources connected into place.
And I think that's a perfect bookend for loving yourself, or unconditionally loving yourself in the skin you're in.
Yeah. And it's okay that you're loving the skin you're in while you're changing. You can change it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So we hope this helps, and we hope you have a beautiful day.
Bye for now.